Now, we heard there that police briefly interrupted proceedings at Nelson Chamisa's press conference. What is the security situation at the moment in Harare?
Well, it is rather calm right now, but we were shocked here at the Bronte Hotel in the capital Harare when we were waiting for Nelson Chamisa to address the hundreds of journalists that were here, and all of a sudden we heard a commotion at the entrance of the Bronte Hotel, and we saw scores of riot police rushing into the hotel and ordering journalists to leave. A standoff then ensued between the journalists and the riot police. It was only after Zimbabwe's Minister of Information arrived on the scene and intervened that he then ordered for the press conference to go ahead, and it was at that point when Nelson Chamisa then arrived and addressed the journalists. But the fact that the riot police found it necessary and was so brazen to come and try and disperse journalists in front of the international media, and also there were also international election observers who actually witnessed what was happening here at the Bronte earlier today.
So things are still quite tense there. Now, looking ahead, things are final in the eyes of the electoral authorities vis-à-vis the results of this election, but perhaps not in the eyes of opposition voters. How do you see the coming days?
Well, Nelson Chamisa is adamant that he is the legitimate leader of the people of Zimbabwe. He made it very clear at the press conference that he will not accept the results as announced by the Zimbabwean Electoral Commission. He also accused the Zimbabwean Electoral Commission of colluding with the ruling party. Of course, the ZEC has denied this. And he went on to say that he did not want to reveal the strategy that the MDC would employ in order to show the people of Zimbabwe that they had been tricked. In fact, he said that they had been robbed and that the result was fraudulent. I then asked him whether he was prepared to go to the High Court to seek an interdict to prevent the new government from being installed. And he answered and said, I do not want the ruling party to know what we are going to be doing because they will use it against us. But it is interesting that Nelson Chamisa says he has all the evidence to prove that the results are fake. He says he can prove that in certain areas the MDC won an overwhelming majority. He also says that in certain areas he has proof that there were more people who voted than actual inhabitants in those areas. But he says he will only make the proof available in a few days' time. But he said that he is confident that he will be the next president of Zimbabwe.
Indeed, we'll be following that and keeping you up to date. Thank you very much, Aisha Ismail, reporting there from Harare.